Make every race matter a bit more this year with season-long cash on the line. That's right, it's our best bets for the 2026 NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts and Truck Series Futures betting markets. All this and more next on the Backroad.
I don't drive a Monte Carlo, and my truck ain't painted black. It ain't got a big white number 3 turning left around the track. Let's go!
What's up, everybody? Elliot Hicks and Seth Woolcock here with you for a little bonus edition of the Backroad. After our Thursday night live show, we put it in park, but we decided, you know what, let's put it back in drive and head on down for another one. This year, a fair amount of weeks, we'll be doing bonus episodes posted exclusively on the Backroad YouTube channel, sub-channel from In Between Media. And this is a good opportunity for us, Seth, to really flesh out some of those other markets. We know the Cup Series is where the bread and butter happens, but a lot of value in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, Craftsman Truck Series, as well as Formula One, IndyCar, and other racing markets that in this show we can really take more time to expand on it and kind of separate it for more than just a little 2-minute footnote after we talk our full Cup cards.
Yeah, we can spread our wings and fly like a bald eagle going down that front stretch, right, Elliot? No, I'm super excited about it, man. Specifically this episode, right? The O'Reilly Auto Parts and Truck Series futures last season were so good to us, man. We hit some absolute gainers. We had the double top 10 play on Enfinger and Hemrick. That was plus money that we hit for about 6 units. We had a ton of units down on the Connor Zilic generational over 1.5, and then you doubled down on that 2.5, and then who can forget the Jesse Love 11-1 championship outright we rode all season long. So it was good to us. So we couldn't not include it, right? We couldn't not do an episode. The books did their best to make us wait for it. It's only out on one book. Shout out Caesars. We appreciate you as always for fueling this show. But yeah, man, so excited to jump into it all and give a little more best bets action for the futures markets for the fine people out there on the internet.
Yeah, and again, it's exciting because this way it's more than just a footnote at the end of the show. It's betting markets and it's series that deserve kind of its own spotlight because, like you said, in a lot of ways, it was better to us than a lot of the Cup futures were this past year. The Love title ticket, the generational with Zilic, and we're hoping for some more of those bets down the road this year. Want to do once again plug the best way to get the best value and the best bets. It's in the IBT Racing family, not just in the conversation with all of us, all of our other analysts, myself, yourself, Rod Villagomez, Chris Colicchio, Ryan from My Fantasy Race. Heck, I mean, some of these guys we can call them analysts at this point, whether it's Anthony or whether it's, Blurry Kyle, Bob Bodner, all these guys that have been, it's pretty much since the beginning who we've got bets free flying in there. We see something. I mean, it happened at the Clash where Chris throws out, Larson had just won the poll for the Clash, throws out, hey, FanDuel hasn't updated this yet. You can go get him 6-1. And a lot of us hopped on that. It didn't work out so well, but It's not just the paid where you get the extra stuff. Of course, you get memorabilia giveaway entries over there. Got that running for Daytona. Autographed Shane Van Gisbergen 2024. Free. WeatherTech number 16 Chevrolet. That's going to be drawn after Daytona. Those are free to enter and free to do that. But it is the best value on the betting cards. To get that exclusive weekly betting model access on the Cup side, and the head-to-head matchups, I believe, just going to be Cup as well. But our full weekly betting cards, believe you me, especially with the volume betting that I do, there is plenty of action on O'Reilly, trucks, F1, IndyCar, any other fun motorsport stuff that we got going on this season. And like I said, it's the family. It's the best place to be.
Yeah, man. I mean, it had to be just Wednesday alone for that race. 150, 200 messages that were flying there in the Discord for the IBT Racing family. It's our most popular chat. It's our most active one, our most filled with the degenerates that we love and know. And yeah, shout out to everyone over there. So much fun. And, you know, from Anthony pounding some liquor drinks, trying to stay warm out there at Bowman Gray, or our guys Blaze Wolf, who's been tailing us on all these futures. We appreciate every single one of them. And just more fun stuff to come, man. The head-to-head matchup contest going to give us a little skin in the game. We got to try to beat these non-IBT staffers, Elliot, but excited for it all, man. And yeah, just grateful, man. What a ride it's been since I think we're going into our, I want to say it might be our 6th year of the show. 6th year of the show. Of course, we weren't weekly for maybe the first 2 of them. But yeah, crazy that it's been this long. And I appreciate you, my friend, riding alongside me for all the trials and tribulations since back in our college newspaper days.
Yeah, and man, with the Backroad, you're right. 2021, we started, I think, early in the year there.
Wow.
I think we were only ripping about every 3 weeks. I looked back at one of our show sheets comparing that to what we have now. It really has been a good ride, and glad you all are along with us as well. And it will be exciting, of course, to have this extra time to break down some of this stuff, including some extra news more focused on these other series in the bonus Fast Lap news we got for you. This got a brief mention in the previous show. I don't think I had an extra lower third for that. Sorry about that. We wanted to be a little fancy for you. But the JGR number 19 in the O'Reilly series, that's mostly going to be Brent Cruz this year. But he's got to wait to turn, I forget if it's turn 17, turn 18. I think it's turn 18 to run most of the tracks. They lowered it so he could run COTA when he's 17, that sort of thing. But he's not eligible for Daytona nor Atlanta Echo Park. Gio Ruggiero, winner of the Talladega Fall Truck Race last year, is going to make his O'Reilly debut running that JGR number 19 at Daytona and Atlanta. Third race up is COTA, which is Cruz. Then I think there's maybe one more week before Cruz can jump in full time. He'll have that waiver to get into the chase. We're assuming this number 19 car is going to be just as fast as it's been the last couple of years with a rotating cast. And it's a really good opportunity for one of Toyota's best prospects and a really big favorite of yours, Seth, Gio Ruggiero, to hop in, get some O'Reilly experience at a track where, I mean, we didn't really know what to expect from him at the beginning of last year. Goes out there, ran, I believe, second after Kligerman's inspection failure at Daytona straight away in the trucks.
Yeah, I mean, we cashed a 20-1 on him at Dega over there in the fall race. Like, this is a kid who can wheel him specifically at super speedways, also very strong on road courses. So any more seat time for him, any more time to hopefully elevate him up that Toyota pipeline, I'm here for it. Brent, take a seat, enjoy one. Let's get you ready. Let's get you so where you can. I don't even think you can buy cigarettes when you turn 18, but at least you can drive out there at Daytona, Atlanta. But very excited for this, man. Gio, someone I'm sure we'll talk a lot about tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Got some bets on him for the year. This one does have a graphic. AM Racing, you'll remember them 2 years ago running Haley Deegan half the year in the number 15. When she was out, they brought in Logano and Barry and a few other guys. Then they ran full-time last year in the 25 with Harrison Burton. It was initially expected that they were going to sell off their O'Reilly Series assets to Sigma Performance Services. That's run late models. They've run ARCA. I think Greg Biffle's final couple of ARCA starts were with that team. It was announced in, I believe, November that was going to happen. They were going to start the Xfinity side. AM was going to be out. It was released that transaction was, quote, ultimately not finalized, so AM Racing will compete in the O'Reilly Series in 2026. Not sure what's going to happen in terms of drivers, sponsors, anything like that. One thing that this could be, though, again, just speculation. They have not made any announcements on what kind of team they're going to run. This could be a lifeline for Nick Sanchez. Was going to run a second year in the big machine number 48. That ride was bought out by Patrick Starpoli with full sponsorship over there, going to run that 48. Nick Sanchez, late in the offseason without a ride. I don't think Spire in the truck series, one we had talked about, they're not running full-time drivers in either of their trucks. This could be a spot in a car that Harrison Burton made decently competitive, was able to make it into the playoffs on points at that time. It would run the same way as the Chase. I feel like this could be a match made in heaven, AM, with the improvements they've made, and Nick Sanchez with the improvements he's made. It would be a great match, and I think a good lifeline for Sanchez. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Either way, a team that I'm excited to see what happens, even if they kind of didn't want to do this. I feel like it might turn out better than we thought.
Yeah, Sanchez out there floating without an oar right now. So this would be really the saving grace he needs. I will say though, Elliot, like in general, I don't think either one of us are super high on a team that's kind of in this, let's call it a lame duck year, right? Where you're just kind of hanging on, you're looking to get out, like, SHR's final year, that type of thing. Obviously, different scale, 4 cars versus 1, Xfinity versus Cup Series. So, granular differences there, but still, I'm not super high on whoever gets behind this wheel. Like, I'm not going to be betting on them regularly. But Nick Sanchez is a guy who deserves a ride. So I'd love to see it if he was someone who wound up behind the wheel of this one.
Well, whatever happens when we get to Daytona next week, you can expect AM Racing to have an entry there. On the IndyCar side, Tim Cindric, remember, he was the longtime president, higher up over at Penske, was kind of ousted last year after the Indy 500 scandal that happened there. He got rehired by Penske. He's the strategist known in NASCAR as a crew chief. He's the team strategist for Scott McLaughlin's team over there. Feel like it's obviously he knows what he's doing over at Penske. I wonder if they even took away his key card access to the building. And on the NASCAR side, not that Austin Cindric's job wasn't safe, but Tim Cindric's back in the building, keeps Austin's ride safe on the NASCAR side.
Yeah, we talked about it. It was a weird situation last year with Penske. Obviously, like, there had to be repercussions made, right, with the scandals and really just the down performance as a whole. Like, Rod and I covered a lot of it in the IndyCar 2026 preview that you can check out on the main IBT YouTube channel, and also watch it back here on the Backroad YouTube channel as well. But yeah, we talked about it, Elliot. Like, a lot of weird stuff was happening over there. Some of what I actually think trickled into their NASCAR side of things as well. But excited to see Tim Cindric back where he belongs. I think he's one of those employees you want to keep around. I mean, I'm sure like this guy's, had probably a heavy buyout, right? I'm sure he did. So I'm sure it's probably cheaper to get him back in the building, and hopefully he can get, through those last couple of years of retirement. But I'm excited about it. Hopefully, or great, luckily it's not on the Joseph Newgarden car, because that's a guy I'm betting the season win total under of in those markets. But Tim Cindric, welcome back, baby. And Austin Cindric, you're still around. You're still around. We need you, bud. We need you. We'll be betting you at some super speedways. Don't you worry, Cindy.
Hey, and I know for McLaughlin, the season will be, it'll be better if he's able to take the green flag for the Indy 500.
Low blow. Oh, man, that was something. That was something, my friend.
What are you going to do, man? All right, you guys know more IndyCar than I do. All right, so that's catching up on the rest of the news. I know we want to get to the props. Let's go ahead and open up the parking garage props. So in terms of impressions of the books, the markets are kind of weird right now. Only on Caesars, again, we're hoping that changes. And on the truck side, not even a full championship, outrights board. It's a yes or no on about 6 different drivers. Didn't stop you from betting one of them, as we'll talk about in a minute, but we're still wanting to see more. Of course, a couple of season win totals have good numbers that I'll talk about. But again, if we see more between now and Daytona, I'll be happy. If we don't, it'll be really unfortunate.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Elliot. So I was on my way back home, went to the Fantasy Pros company trip in New Orleans last week, and bought a rig, a nice little Toyota Tundra Limited from our guy Tyler Bradley down there in Memphis. I'm on the way home and had a sleeping bag. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna when I'm getting tired, I'm gonna head towards the back, right, and find a spot to sleep at a truck stop, get off. And then I get in the back, and last thing I do is like, I'm going to check out some NFL draft odds. And while I was, sneaking around Caesars there, I also went 6 to midnight real quick. Body warmth went from about 70 degrees up to 110 when I saw that we did actually have some Xfinity, now O'Reilly series, plus some truck series odds out there. We don't have everything we want, almost at like mid-December last year. Coming into the 2025 season, we were betting truck and Xfinity outright championship odds, win totals, that type of thing. We're limited in what we have. Beggars can't be choosers. I do hope we get more, but that was certainly a sight to see. And I think first thing I did was send a message to the Discord like, hey, fire up, boys and girls. Here we go. We got a little, Xfinity and truck outrights here. Let's go.
Hey, man, I'm glad they're out there, and I'm glad they give us something to bet at least. Forgive me for the old school banner on this one. The first one that I took, one of those, more number bet than a driver bet. But the best car in the series from last year, its driver being at 65-1 to win the title, that seems like a long number to me. So I threw a bet on the 65-1 for Rajah Caruth to win the O'Reilly title. He'll spend most of the season and all of the chase in what was the best car in the series last year. Of course, he'll be ousted to the JAR Jordan Anderson Racing 32 when the Cup boys decide to hop in. Each of Larson, Byron, Elliott, and Bowman have at least 2 races apiece, I believe, in that car. But Raj is going to be in it most of the year and in the races that really matter. Of course, this car with Connor Zilich, 10 races he won last year. Raj is not getting anywhere near that. I will be pleasantly surprised if he gets to 2 or 3. I don't know if he's going to win that many. But at a 65-1 for a really good up-and-coming driver that last year he showed me that he was better than I gave him credit for, is able to get this ride for most of the year. Even the Jordan Anderson cars in the races that he'll be in there, I don't think that he's going to run much worse than he would have in this 88. I feel like it'll be on par, at least to some extent, obviously not equipment-wise, but it's going to be a negligible enough difference that I think he's going to be an easy lock into the 12, I believe it's 12 driver chase, and a guy who is going to get that 88 car for that full chase. And if he doesn't start out going too far behind, he's a guy at 65-1. Of course, if I could get a FanDuel level cash out on it, I'd feel like better. But I think 65-1 for the best car in the series last year to go win a title with the driver who, again, up and coming kind of guy. This is my number so far for the O'Reilly Championship.
Hey, I don't hate it, man. Look, when you first put it out there, I was questioning a little because, like, personally, I'm not as high on Rajah as a driver as I think a lot of people. I still think he can make some pretty rookie mistakes. He doesn't always get off the truck as quick as I'd like to as well. I'd like to see. So I do have my question marks about him as like a future prospect. I think I am lower than consensus on him. However, like, it's hard to go against Junior Motorsports, right? You know the fandom I have for them. You know the love I have for this organization. I think they're the best when it comes to the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. So I'm looking forward to them being out there. I don't believe in Jordan Anderson as much as the rest of the crew. I've been burnt, though, trying to bet them in the past. So maybe that's a little better bias there for you, Elliot. But
like the difference, I think that, like, I mean, I'd have to look at all the races because the only ones I know straight up that he'll be in the 32. Alex Bowman's going to run the 88 at Darlington and at Nashville.
Sure. Sure.
I feel like that. I mean, again, I'd have to look at all the races that he'll be out of that car, but I feel like they were races where, unless he really hits, he might run 6th to 12th in the 88, and I think he could run 15th, 12th, 15th, 18th. It's not going to be enough of a difference to take him completely out of the title fight.
No, I'm with you there, and I'll say this. I think you're playing for a cash out here. And so, again, I would rather have this number at FanDuel. Maybe if it still pops up at FanDuel at 65-1, I think it's interesting. I'll say this, Elliot. I had a very similar strategy last year with AM Racing and Harrison Burton. I had that at 30-1. So to get a 65 pre-flop does feel nice with Rajah.
Yeah, I think it's the best number out there. At the top of the board, your All Guyers is your favorites. They're tough numbers to bet. I'm not drinking that juice yet.
I don't hate it for Gator. I looked at it. I did look at betting Gator for a championship outright, but there's a lot of young guns here that could shake things up that I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about.
Hey, Rajah Caruth being one of them, right? All right, so that's the O'Reilly championship number. The trucks, again, the odds are kind of weird right now in Caesars. They have about 6 or 7 drivers where it's a yes or no to win the title. If you're going to take a yes, even at this number, I like where your head's at on the truck side.
Yeah, so, just going to be flat with everyone. I don't really like any of the current Xfinity or Truck Series odds that we have out there right now. Again, we're going to keep our head on a swivel, right? We're going to see how this kind of plays out over the next couple days to a week. I'm hoping maybe after the Super Bowl goes away, we'll see more places than just Caesars offer some stuff. So as of now, I got 4 units. I'm putting all my eggs in this tequila drinking son of a guns basket, baby. Layne Riggs on the championship outright plus 275 at Caesars. Again, I'm going to wait. I've not placed this yet. I will have a Layne Riggs championship ticket at least for 4, maybe 5 units, depending on if I get anything else that I want exposure to. But in a year of 2025, Elliot, where Corey Heim had arguably one of the most dominant driver series history for the trucks, like Layne Riggs still was very good in his own respect, right? 3 wins, the second best in the series, 13 top 5s, the second most, 3 more than any other driver, 16 top 10s, the third most, 4 poles, the second most, third best average starting position, second best average finishing position as well. He led nearly 500 laps, tied for second, over 270 more than the next highest driver, his teammate there in Chandler Smith. To me, I think this title, like, I'm not as worried. Like I mentioned, you got a lot of young guns in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series that I think could shake some things up against Gator. I don't really feel that way in truck, right? I think it's going to be Layne Riggs. I think it's going to be Chandler Smith. I think it's going to be Ty Majeski. Ty Majeski did not win last year. You'll talk more about that later. I also do not think that Chandler Smith has the upside to go out and make these late race adjustments. He just doesn't. He's a guy who has speed off the truck and he dominates a race, or he doesn't. Like, he's kind of like the Bubba Walls of the truck series in my mind. So I think that Layne just has so much more upside than these other guys. And like, we know he's likely going to come into the chase with a pretty nice cushion, right? And I would not be shocked if we look and we're halfway through the chase and it's Layne Riggs, there's a gap, and then it's someone like Butterbean or Gio Ruggiero who are next. Like, that's kind of where I'm at on this series, honestly. I like those 2 guys, and I like Layne here. And Elliot, honestly, I think the chase actually sets up really great for him, specifically the end of it, where it's a stretch of Dega, the Ville, and Homestead, where he finished 5th, 3rd, and 2nd with no Corey Heim in the series. I think he has a chance to win potentially any 3 of those races. This is the big rig bet of the year, baby. Lock it in.
I like it, and I like it even at this number. I do feel like maybe you're not giving enough credit to Caden Honeycutt in that 11 truck vacated by Heim as a potential title favorite.
Fair.
But nobody was happier to see Corey Heim leave this series than Layne Riggs, because Riggs with his wins last year, Corey Heim might have stolen 5 or 6 from Riggs too, right, from how well he ran. And I think you're right, though. Even if I add Honeycutt into that mix, there's nobody who I feel as good about with Layne Riggs, especially with that chase format coming in. He was one of those guys that kind of got hosed by that playoff format last year. Yeah. Got involved in a wreck at the Roval, didn't have as good of a race as he liked to. Still only missed that Final Four by, I think, 1 point, or maybe even being tied. So he's a guy who's going to benefit from the chase. I do think if he doesn't go in with the number 1 seed, he's no worse than the 3 seed heading into that. I mean, it would be just an astronomical feat of insanity for him not to be top 3 heading into that. And that puts him on position on points to go into some of his best tracks, like you said, with a couple wins in his back pocket and be able to run for this title. And like you mentioned, some of these other guys that are contending are either unproven or have not had the best years in recent years. So Riggs being the title favorite, I'm not down on this number yet because it's a little short. But I mean, who else are you going to go with? I'm not confident in anybody else either.
Well, yeah, and now we have the chase, right? This isn't like we're betting. Like, I would not bet this number in the old format, right? But I have 10 races for Layne Riggs to prove himself after a season's worth of work, where he can put himself in an advantage heading into it, that he's going to do well. So, yeah, I'm all in here on the big rig, baby. Honk that horn. I'm ready, man. And, yeah, let's just wait. Let's see, like, official play will be in the Discord within the next week before we go to Daytona. But if all comes to be it, and I got to take a plus 275, I'll take it. That's still 3 times my money. And I thought about the season win total, Elliot. I stared at it for a long time. It's minus 150 for over 3.5. I still think he clears that pretty easily. But instead, I'm just putting all my tickets in the plus 275. Let's go.
I must not have looked closely enough at the win totals, because I feel like had I seen that at that number, it feels like a slam dunk. Mm-hmm. And I know some of these other win totals I'm about to talk about, like I talked about in the main show, we saw on the O'Reilly side, Zilich won 10 times. You're not having a guy win 10 races there, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Time won like a dozen. We're not seeing.
No, but you will see more Cup guys coming down now because of the rules. I feel like that could steal some of this win equity away. That was the one thing that kind of kept me. I don't know how many times we're going to see Rowdy. I don't know how many times we're going to see Ross Chastain.
We know we're going to see Hocevar in 13 of them. So that's half the schedule.
Exactly. That's kind of the thing. That's why I preferred championship over win total for Riggs. I like both, but just give me big rig on the championship future.
Yeah, if we do get a lot of Cup guys, I mean, those of you who were around in the bushwhacking era, you will see the Cup guys win almost all the races, take away from the win totals of what would have been back then, and end up taking all the top spots in points. You can only run in one series for points, and Layne Riggs is definitely your title favorite there. 7 races in the chase on the Cup or on the truck side. 9 races in the O'Reilly side. Only the Cup gets that 10, but that's enough for Layne Riggs to go and pull away if he's able to have a great run there at the end. So that's it for the championship bets. I've got 3 win total bets for both O'Reilly and Truck. We're talking trucks. I'm going to stay on the truck line, and I'm going to go with a couple unders first. And they're ones that, like I said, the win equity of sorts of, you're not going to see a guy win a dozen races. I don't think Layne Riggs goes out, wins a dozen races. So these guys could end up getting more wins, but it's what the over-unders are set at. I'm not super confident. I'm going to go with the most controversial one, at least to you first. I think Gio Ruggiero is under 1.5 wins on the truck side, plus 150 via Caesars. We're going to need more growth from him to get to 2. He got the win at Talladega. He's a great super speedway driver. I feel like there could be some opportunity where he could race up front more now without Heim to try and get wins here. But in terms of consistency over the full year, I don't know if I see the win equity for Gio. I'm confident enough in the truck. I'm confident enough in his driving talent to continue to move up. But I do think that you're going to see a lot of Cup guys win truck races. Layne Riggs it's a very easy scenario to say, Hocevar maybe takes 2. Caden Honeycutt could win 4 or 5 races
Easy.
He made the playoff in a Nice truck, and then he made the championship 4 in a Friesen truck.
Friesens are good units. Don't be shouting down to our Canadian friends.
It makes the championship 4 in a Friesen truck, and you're putting him in the best truck in the series.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a Honeycutt win total over under, but
no, there's not.
3.5, I might take the over.
Wow! Holy cow!
You are going to see some guys win a lot of races, and I don't know that Gio Ruggiero is going to be one to get multiple race wins. It's the one out of all 6 of these that I've got. I'm the least confident. It's the most controversial, but I like the number, and I'm very okay fading him. And on the Tricon side, I mean, Tanner Gray is coming back. Tanner Gray could be a guy to pull off a win.
Give me a freaking break on Tanner Gray, dude. Holy cow.
Hey, I knew it was controversial. I knew you wouldn't like it, but I don't feel terrible about this bet, especially at this number.
Yeah, I mean, if this wasn't like minus 160 on the other side, which is coming down, I will say, because there's people like you who are wrongfully betting the under, I would bet the over. And if I can even get it closer to 140, maybe find a boost before we go live next week racing, I want to get invested with the over of this, Elliot, because are you not forgetting that not only was Gio an absolute stud at the super speedways, this guy was awesome at the road courses, man. He was like an auto top 5 bet for me at the end of the season when we got to road courses. Well, we don't have freaking Corey Heim at these road courses now. Yeah, you might going to get some, more Xfinity and Cup guys coming down to race these.
There's an 18-year-old kid who's a rookie in the Cup Series who I bet you is going to find a truck for the road course races.
I'm sure some of them.
There's a Kiwi that might want to try to hop in too, and you got a Toyota All-Star truck that's going to run.
Okay,
Mario Franchitti at St. Pete. You get more.
Oh, give me a break with Mario. Come on.
Jordan Taylor coming in there could do
Oh
it.
my
Mosak is an Aspire truck and has been really good on road courses.
That's fair. I'll give you Mosak.
Ran really well at Lime Rock last year. It's I didn't think, well, I did kind of think of the road course win equity here, but he's far from a guarantee to run well on the road course.
I'm just going to say, I think unless there's like crazy entries, like open entries here, he wins a road course. He's the favorite.
Every road course is going to have ridiculous entries. We're already seeing it.
If we were to go to a road course, just full-time truck guys, who's the favorite this year? It's got to be Gio.
I don't know.
Or Layne. It's Gio or Layne.
There won't be a single race where it's all truck regulars on the road courses.
All right. Well,
I'm not betting in the hypotheticals here. It was one of those where if it's half a win, there's no way I'm touching the under. I'd take the over. I think he wins 1 easily. Yeah. I just am not confident enough that he wins 2 with how the truck series is stacking out this year.
I just got a new roadcaster that I'm going to be shipping off my mic stuff to you here in the next week, Elliot, and setting that up. And I'll have some sound effects. I need to find like the best, whether it's like the Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse audio. I need like a fight one, and then I'll play that when we disagree, because the show's the best when we disagree. We certainly disagree on this. I'm Gio to the moon, baby. I'm all the way in on this kid. He's the next real deal. Yeah, you can thank me for trying to talk you out of it here. When we probably get to about, I'd say August, September, and this one's going to cash the other way, my friend.
If it takes till August or September for it to cash, how confident really were you?
Oh, come on.
We'll see it in a year.
Oh my goodness. All right. Give me something. Give me something we can talk about.
Enough arguing about that one. I'm more confident in this one. And ThorSport, one of those teams that, they've had a great run in the truck series. They've done really well in the past. They had good drivers. They've been that truck exclusive team. They've gone out there, won titles, multiple different guys. But people are way too high on ThorSport. People are way too high on Ty Majeski this year. He's going to bring that Menards 88 back to the flagship truck. Majeski's a great driver. But to have his over-under at 2.5 for a team that didn't win a race at all last year, that's really, really, really high to me. I'm taking the under. The under being plus money, too. I feel like I'm an absolute steal here. They didn't win a race at all last year. I do think Majeski's a good driver. I think he's in the right team. He's in the right place. I like the fact that he's the guy who's going to get that Menards 88 back to what Matt Crafton was able to do with it forever ago. But even when Matt Crafton was winning titles, he wasn't going out there winning 7, 8, 9 races a year. He won a championship in 2019 without winning a single race at all in the ultimate playoffs win and you're in format. Was able to win it with no wins. I think 3 wins is a lot to ask from ThorSport as a whole. Yeah. So one of their trucks getting there, if there's a truck that's going to get there, it's Majeski. I don't think there's a chance in hell he gets to 3 wins this year. I just don't see it.
I think there's a chance, but like I would have set the line at 2, like over under 1.5, right? Like that's probably
he's over under 1.5. It's a no bet. Over under half. I'm giving him Richmond and I'm taking it just like I took Austin Dillon. 2.5. Slam dunk on the under. Slam dunk.
Well, it's right. Like you're giving him Richmond, maybe Phoenix. He's still sporty at Phoenix. He's been sporty there in the past. Kansas, he usually has a lot of speed off the truck. At Kansas as well out there in the plains. So I do think there are ways and places Majeski can win. It just 3 wins is a lot, even without Corey Heim. So I would also bet the under on this. It's going to be a no bet for me. If I could find this maybe a plus 130, plus 140, I would. But I think I'm just getting greedy because, like you said, honestly, anything plus money for the under 2.5 feels pretty good. The wins do have to go somewhere, though. So it's who are you expecting them to kind of get here? Maybe potentially your next driver.
Yeah, and this one, it's risky because we haven't seen Ram on the track other than the race for the show. Haven't seen Ram on the track. We haven't seen Kaulig in the trucks. We know they're trying to run 5 of those MFers this year. It's going to be a big undertaking for Kaulig Racing and Ram Stellantis in the truck series. But they were able to get a gem. They were able to get good old Butterbean, Brenden Queen locked into one of the trucks. I think out of everybody, and I'm including the All-Star truck, if any of these 5 Kaulig trucks is winning a race, it's Brenden Queen. And his over-unders at 1.5, the overs at plus 140, and I'm taking it. Heim being gone, it opens up wins, which I'm taking away from Gio and Majeski, I guess, and I'm giving a couple of them to Brenden Queen. Showed he was a well-rounded driver in ARCA last year. I know he was in one of the best cars, but was able to win at places that I didn't even know he'd win. Started off with a win at Daytona for a guy who is a short-track guy, not a guy you'd expect to go win Daytona, and he pulls it off. And Brenden Queen, like I said, this one may have to be an August to September sweat. I don't know if the success is going to come right away for the Kaulig guys, but if you look at the organization as a whole, Justin Haley, I'm worried about him. I don't know if he's got the win equity out there. The kid who, I don't want to spoil it, we have a mini idea of who might have won the race for the seat, but I don't see him coming anywhere close to winning a race. The 25, I mean, it depends on who's in there, but I don't think Smoke is winning Daytona. I don't know if some of these other guys are going to be contenders to win races. And then you have Daniel Dye. I don't think Daniel Dye sniffs a race win. If anyone's winning at Kaulig, it's Brenden Queen. I think Matt Kaulig and Chris Rice know that if anyone's winning a race, it's Brenden Queen. Mm-hmm. He's going to get the most eggs pushed in his basket, and I think he can get to over 1.5 wins to get to 2.
Yeah, the equipment is the question mark, right? Because if this was a truck, like if this was a Tricon truck, I would be with you on the over, right? Like
if he was in a Tricon truck, I'd bet this at minus 175.
Yeah. I do like, but I mean, let's go back to 2024 North Wilkesboro. The first time this guy showed up in the Grand National Series, right? 4 wins or 4th place in his first start. Started 26 at that track in Wilkesboro. It's a little bit like a roller coaster. It's a tough track down there, and like he proved himself.
Going to be a points race for the Truck Series again this year. They race more of those short tracks and more of that Butterbean expertise than O'Reilly up to.
I'll be betting him there for sure. And then we go to the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, formerly the Xfinity Series. First start, nothing to write home about last season. Goes to Kansas, finishes 9th, started 4th that day. In Kaulig equipment too, like one of the better runs Kaulig had. was pretty good at Martinsville until he wasn't. Led 19 laps there in the Xfinity series. And then like, just look at what the kid did in ARCA last year, right? 8 wins, 17 top fives. The guy was just an absolute dynamite. I know ARCA is tough because there's only X amount of, really competitive cars week in and week out, but
maybe like 4 cars that have a chance to win.
Yeah.
I don't know where there's like 12.
But it doesn't matter what this kid runs, man. Like whether it's the cars tour or whether it's ARCA, like he's really talented, and he's one of the guys. Like I would not be shocked if we look up halfway through the chase. I said it earlier, and he's someone who's like kind of trying to nip at Layne Riggs's heels. I think like legitimately he could be a top 5, top 10 guy. It just comes down to equipment. What is the equipment going to be? I don't know, and that is what I need to figure out. However,
that's why this number is what it is. Brenden Queen has been proven over a full season at the top 3 levels. Kaulig truck's unproven, but I know Ram's putting a hell of a lot of money into this, and Butterbean getting himself in a good spot to where, I mean, obviously when they do get to Cup, whether it's 27, 28, they're going to probably overpay for some, maybe that's where Kyle Busch ends up. Maybe it's some other veteran that ends up there to be the lead driver. And then I think Brenden Queen is year 2 in the Cup Series in a couple of years. And I think that starts with winning himself a couple of truck races in the debut season back for Ram.
I would probably drink like minus 150 juice for 1 win. I just think the kid's that good. Yeah. 2 is going to be tough. Like I think I need to sit down and actually see like who is entered for what truck race right now as far as guys coming down, because they could steal some win. But
that unfortunately may have to be a week-to-week thing for us.
Yeah.
We get here on Thursday for the live show, and it's, hey, this guy. Yeah. Chastain, Hocevar, McDowell, they're all in. You're not going to have an all-star Daytona race field every week, but it's going to have more weeks than not. Now that guys are able to run more races,
especially with that 5th Spire truck, right? That's going to kind of change everything and open the door. So yeah, we'll see. But out of all the bets you've thrown out so far, Elliot, this one is definitely my most favorite, and the one that I'm considering getting down on myself. You'll see if I do, I'll put that in the Discord, of course, if I do end up getting down on that. But right now it's just like, hey, I'm going to put all those eggs in the Layne basket, baby. Fill it up.
I don't blame you for going with Big Rig. On the O'Reilly side, I'm going to group these two together. Both the Haas factory team drivers. My stock on Haas factory teams going. They're back to Chevrolet now. They're at the bottom of the totem pole for Chevrolet. We know last year was not good on the Cup side. Really not that great on the Xfinity now O'Reilly side either. I'm taking Sheldon Creed under half a win plus 150. I feel like, like I said, I feel like they're continuing their slide back into irrelevance. Before Tony Stewart came in 2009, Haas at the Cup level, all but completely irrelevant. And I think they're headed back there now. They have 2 talented guys on the O'Reilly side, and I think they're kind of stuck, and I don't know if they have any upside to go win races. Sheldon Creed, the guy of not winning races in the O'Reilly series. If he hasn't done it by now, I don't think he's doing it in a Haas car that is sliding backwards, which is why I'm also going with the under on Sam Mayer, 1.5 wins. Not loving Haas factory team. Not loving Sam Mayer's win equity, especially in this O'Reilly field this year, and especially after what happened at Martinsville last year. You talk about the garage helping guys to win or letting guys win. First time Sam Mayer's running up front on a late restart this year, the dude's getting punted. I don't care who's behind him. Even if it is Sheldon Creed, dude's getting punted. When we get to Daytona, 3 laps to go, 41's in the lead. No, he's not. So asking him to get the 2 wins. Last year, Mayer only wins Iowa. Creed doesn't win a race. Both these numbers would have hit. I'm thinking they're hitting again this year.
It was a pretty surprising win in Iowa, right? I don't think anyone had that on their bucket list. And like the thing about Sam Mayer and like why I wouldn't bet against him is like, let's see what these fields are for the road courses, because he is, in my opinion, I think will be the most decorated full-time Xfinity, now O'Reilly Series driver in this field from a full-time standpoint, right?
The only thing is it's not confirmable who's running what races, but you have SVG, Zilich. Yeah. Zilich running about half the year. Yeah. SVG and Chastain taking races in the line. I do think Mayer can get up there and fight on a road course. I don't think he can do it twice.
Also, like we talk a lot more about it in the NFL betting and fantasy football markets than racing, but like for Sheldon Creed, does there have to be positive regression, dude? Like this guy has 35 career top 5s in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Got at least a dozen P2s.
He's got to get there eventually. Like, I think even if it's just like half-ass backwards and he, ends up there somehow, some way, he does. So I can't bet it. I understand. If you've bet it the last 4 years, this guy's been running full time. You've been making money. I just can't. I can't do it because I think he will find, like, the law of regression has to come. This guy's a good enough driver. I just don't know if he does all the little things to take him to the next level. So I don't know if he'll ever be an elite guy. And time is ticking for him, in my opinion. I don't know how many sponsorship dollars he's going to be keeping on bringing in. Hopefully all of them. But time's ticking, man, before he heads back to the Truck Series where he was decorated.
Man, even the Truck Series, I don't know if he's got sponsorship money. He was talking about years where he couldn't take a salary. And for Creed, if Haas continues to move downward, I'm bringing it back. He's going to need the fuckery to go out there and win a race. He really is. I just don't see it happening. I'll be quick with the last one here. Brandon Jones, under 1.5 wins at even money on Caesars. He's not a guy who has great years every year. It was a surprise to see him win multiple times last year. I think he gets 1. I don't think he gets 2.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Like, it's tough with Brandon Jones because to me, like, he's a guy I've always wanted to fade, right? He's always someone, Elliot, that I've always tried to fade. And last year started biting me in the butt finally, right? Like, I was able to, fade this guy all the years he was at JRM, and it worked out successfully. I will say, though, like, he does have a home with Joe Gibbs Racing. Like, he's comfortable there. He's comfortable in this number 20 car. And, like, I think when he won last year, other than our guy Hot Rod Villagomez, who had him car lifted the one day, I don't think any of us expected him to come out and do as good as he did. But, like, honestly, like, eight top 5s. He had 1 and 3 the 2 years before. 13 top 10s. He pulled it twice. He didn't lead a ton of laps, so like 156, right? So that wasn't super impressive. The average finish wasn't there, so you can still fade him in matchups occasionally. But I think when we get to tracks like Darlington, like he won last year, and then even like at these tracks like Kansas, and I don't believe Xfinity goes to Michigan anymore, but Michigan, I also think like those types of intermediate tracks, he's going to be a factor around it. Like, it's hard. It's hard for me to fade him. Like, look what he did at Phoenix. He was 4th there. He had a really good run to end the season. Dover 3rd. Like these are kind of the tracks that are kind of in his wheelhouse. Homestead 7th, 6th at Vegas. Like, I do worry that he could win some of these intermediates. Like, who else is Almirola going to be running a lot? Because I think he steals some wins from him, right? So it's just those question marks. But if enough Cup guys come down, he won't hit this. I agree, but he's good at intermediates all of a sudden with Joe Gibbs again.
Yeah, but good at intermediates and winning at intermediates, 2 really different things. So I'm taking under there.
Yeah,
I know real pessimistic on the O'Reilly guys, but that's the way I'm going. All right, so this one a little longer than we expected, but hey, season win totals, something we definitely don't want to ignore, and season long bets. Hoping to have some more for you over in the IBT Racing family before we hit the Daytona 500. Free to join the conversation and enter in memorabilia giveaways like our autographed Shane Van Gisbergen 2024 WeatherTech Chevrolet. You can join at the link on the screen right now. Hey, look, it's not on the screen there, but that talks about what it is. $3.99 a month for the model, for our betting cards, and for the head-to-head matchups contest. It's the place to be, just like it's the place to be riding on down the back road. We appreciate it. All the fun in the episode description. Anything else before we head outside?
No, I hope everyone found it. It will, of course, be collaborated with the IBT Media YouTube main channel. But a lot of these bonus episodes, most of them, in fact, will end up on the Backroad YouTube channel and the audio feed. So make sure you're subscribed both those places. We don't want to have you missing any of this content because, look, man, this is the real DGen stuff. Anyone can talk and spit Cup Series numbers at you, but we're digging deep here. These are drivers we've been following since the very early beginning of their careers, since they've been in ARCA, since they've been ARCA West and East. So it's great to have this discussion, Elliot. Appreciate everything you do for the channel, and excited to see more of what you do now that you have an entire sandbox or entire playground now, if you would, over here at the Backroad YouTube channel.
Yeah, man, and don't forget, good place to come when we discuss open wheel racing, Formula One starting in about a month, IndyCar around the same time frame. Most of that content going to live over here too, so it'll be exciting. Thanks for each and every time you guys ride down the back road with us. We appreciate it. See you next time.